solve analysis. Today we got sfcuber on 3x3. Average is 1424 second average. He thinks the best part is cross and PLL. Worst part, cross to F transition to F2L. Pretty tough spot for a lot of people. Worst part are, you can hear 4 years for 14 to 21 hours a week, so pretty seriously. Let's see. Saul's on orange cross. He's working on learning full OLL. Trying to be able to look ahead to the first pair during inspection if it's an easy cross. Alright, so let's see what we got here. First thing I'm going to say before anything, you should stop working on full OLL and just do it because you're way too fast. 14 seconds is way too fast, not no full OLL. Just stop solving, learn the rest of them. Don't even like learn them as like you're too fast for this. Just straight up like just stop solving and memorize the rest of them, and then like just learn it. Like there's no reason to. There's literally no reason to not know them all at this point. You're like 14 seconds is definitely too fast for that. Whoa, what was that? Okay, so yeah, you have a pretty common case right here. It's a pretty common case. Let's see. Let's set it up real quick. It's the reverse of this one, I guess. Let me just do it better. Oops. It's this case right here. So I'm not exactly sure what you did here, but there's a couple different ways you can do this one. This right here, if you're in this position, you can go solve it like that. What you did is kind of like you rotated and then you wanted to do it 2-gen like that, which is also not the worst. So it's, but, oops. Wait, what is it? Right. So like you did like something like this. It's yeah, where you took it out like and then you forced into this case. Definitely know for this case you should either go like this, right? For that case specifically, definitely just do this. It's really fast and really easy. Or you can do it 2-gen like that. So like this, if you want to preserve the edge orientation, which you definitely should be looking for at this point also. Let's go back. Just a quick note there. Oops, I restarted it. Let's solve one again, I think. Yeah. Just I'm not gonna mention it again. You just need to know full OLL. Just a kind of it's just a necessity at this point. 14 seconds, yeah, is too fast for not knowing at all. I like this. This is good. You have a couple options when you're in this position right here. So so the pair is already made for you right here. And the two options are you're gonna pull it out and then you're gonna rotate one of two ways to solve it. It's good that you rotate it. You always want to rotate so your solved pairs are in the back and the unsolved ones are in front. So you did that, so that's good. I like that. Good stuff. Could have been faster to recognize both those pairs. Did some U moves beforehand. That was a weird OLL. Alright. I had to record by this. Sorry, 1 sec. Is that 3 look OLL? Yikes. Alright. Let's see. Another quick note. I don't like right here. Okay, so whoops. If you look at the start, look at this. This is how you're starting the So So this is 0 seconds into the solve right here. This is 0 seconds in. Like this is just like you can't practice like this. It's just a bad. It's like okay, generally okay to use keyboard, but in a real competition and stuff, you want to be ready to use a stack match. So if you're gonna use keyboard, start and stop like this, like 0 hands touching the cube. Put the cube down on your like trackpad right there, and then press space for like this, and then pick up the whole thing. I really recommend practicing a stack match at least sometimes, but doing this, holding the whole cube in your hand and stopping and starting is like just really, really bad practice. Also, it heavily skews your times, but that's not quite as important. That was the same one. Alright. Whoa. See this case right here. This case is pretty basic for F2L. This is your final case, so it's you have this case right here, and actually in your position you have it all oriented also, which is nice. You have this case right here, and everything's oriented. And what you want to do here is actually I'll just do it on red, so I can make it easier. You have this case right here. Actually, it's the exact case, and you have everything oriented. Let's see. Wow. And so what you need to do here, like you do something weird where you're like not sure what you do, so you do a move, and then you find a new case or something. But this case just solves the whole thing. Let me make it so it's not like a last layer skip. So you're right here. This is no rotations. This is one of the best cases. Just like it's just kind of indicative that you're not really sure what case you have, or like just some of the stuff you're using is like really odd. Like right there, especially is like starting with those back moves is like you can do it, you can get away with it the way you're starting, but like if you start with a stack man, that's like way harder, and you need to like be used to doing stuff like that as well. It's just like yeah, starting with a like cube out of your hands is gonna make a big difference just overall, and something that you really should be doing all the time. Is that a solid pair? Yeah, whoa, that was a solid pair. No lockup. This orange, yellow, and blue is solid right here. Just gotta make sure you're noticing like really easy stuff like that that's available. Wow. Okay. When you said working on full OLL, you definitely mean working on it. Cause like, yeah, you got a lot of the OLLs left to go. Really stop immediately and learn them all. Alright, that was good. I like that. No rotation there. Good F2Ls there. Smooth last layer when like last layer is decently smooth for it being 3 look essentially. Nice max park timer stop. Always stop the timer and then do another couple moves. The your U-perms all seem like, and the Z-perms all seem like they lead with like a large, slow regrip as opposed to starting out like smoothly. I want to think about like kind of how you're picking up the cube, because there's like your U-perm execution seems to be pretty quick, but there's a regrip that's taking you like almost like half a second every time. Another Max Park stop. This guy's the only orange cross. So, also always a good idea to pick up color neutrality. Not 100% necessary, but just like a good idea to have that in your back pocket. I always recommend. MU perms are good if like you can do them well, which like you have to be able to. You can't count the U perm in only execution time. You have to count the whole thing, like from in a solve like time. Seems like he's regripping after he finishes like everything. Interesting. That was weird. It's like ambidextrous E-perms. Let's see. Let's open it up again. All right. Let's see. Watch through it once. Let's check out some more specific things. Like the biggest things. Like look at the TPS. I wish you had a Geiger cube and you could like count your turns, because just the inefficiency, like the amount of turns that are going on in these solves just seem to be honestly like ridiculously high. Like I would kind of want to count like some of these turns. Like every F2L case you're doing seems like it's just like the most moves possible as opposed to like what's actually gonna be the fastest. And like sometimes doing a case or an alg with more moves is like all right, but let me just try to find an example. But like it seems like you're going out of your way to do like slower ones as opposed to like only doing longer move ones if it's like obviously way faster, as opposed to just like the one alg you know for the case. The execution also just seems really, I don't know, just really choppy. I'm kind of also curious about number of rotations in these things. He also seems like he's rotating just like a lot, like more than Bill Wang does, which is the most you should. Like Bill Wang rotates more than anyone, but he can do it because he's like good. And he like rotates like the 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that was 4, and you definitely didn't need 4 at all. Like some of the algs you picked there were like really odd. Just like get weird stuff going. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only 4. Also, a lot of these weird, like these like reverse flicks on the U. Like with U, one second, I'll talk about it in a second. I want to watch another one. 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 in that one. There might have been like 8 rotations in that one. Yeah. So let me look at these crosses also. Like, I want to check out cross time, which should be really fast because you're starting like this. 2. Two full ones. Like that was like, it must have been like a 10 move cross. Okay. I think, okay, you are definitely enough to know, like, so the biggest issue with this, in my opinion, is the efficiency is like pretty atrocious. Like, just watching a few of the crosses, like, so first, like in the cross, let's see. So like cross building, when you start your cross building, when you're holding like, and you're holding the spacebar with the cube in your hand like this, it kind of changes the whole way you're doing cross building. Like it doesn't, the way you start in a real solve has to be like, you have to be able to start doing the moves. You can't start with like a weird, you can't start a solve, pick it up and do it. You don't want to be doing like weird stuff like this. I guess you could, but that's like, sounds really dangerous. Immediately start, put the cube in the ground and start practicing with the cube like this and then pick it up. If not, actually just straight up get a stack mat and do that. I'd highly recommend getting a stack mat just because of, it'd be a good overcorrection, even though it's like kind of like the default of what you should be doing. And then it's kind of odd in the sense that your crosses seem the opposite of the F2L. Like the cross seems like you're trying to use, like you're trying to do a weird, you're okay with like doing weird finger tricks if it saves your rotation. Like most of the crosses here are rotationless, which isn't as big of a deal. Like you could do one rotation and cross if it's saving you a little bit, like it's gonna be faster overall. It's all about being faster overall. So having rotations isn't necessarily bad, but like the way like you're executing your crosses is so strange that I'd really recommend not doing, like, don't be doing, like, be okay with doing a couple extra rotations during your cross in order to like have a smoother one. Also, like, you just like focus on cross like efficiency in general. F2L was really odd. Like, first of all, there's like a ridiculous, like it's the reverse of cross where there's too many rotations. Like, picking, like, I think one of the biggest things is it kind of seems like F2L has been learned algorithmically in the sense that each case, like, you see it and they're gonna do it like this no matter what. Like, okay, I see this case and nothing else around it matters. I'm gonna do it like this no matter what, which, like, is, I mean, I don't know, it's like kind of alright at like this level, but it's really, it just seems like you kind of aren't thinking too much about what's actually happening on the cube and just kind of making random decisions to like get your pieces solved, as opposed to actually like being aware of what's going on. And that's a lot of also apparent in like the really high TPS execution. Like you can kind of see like, oh, like, alright, I'm looking around. Oh, I got this case, I know it. Let's do it like that. Alright, oh, I see that case. I got that. Or like, even that case in general, I don't think actually, like, if you had gotten this case, like, would you know blind how to solve this into the pair on the left? Like, it kind of seems like you only know, okay, the F12 pair is on the top, now I know it. Or the F12 pair is on top, or the piece is, like, it's only in the right slot, now I know it, as opposed to, like, kind of being aware of what's going around in the whole cube. Other than that, also, like, rotating, don't stop doing, okay, things you have to stop doing immediately, turn slower, and then no longer, you can't be doing, when you're looking for pairs, never do a rotation or a U move until you know what you're gonna do, until you know your next pair and you know the whole next pair. There, I'm gonna do this one right here. Now I'm gonna rotate, and I could insert like this, but in this case, I know I'm gonna rotate over to here, which is fine because the next pair sets up nicely, and stuff like that. Like, don't be doing U moves and rotations without actually knowing what's going on. That's just like a lot of wasted time. Other than that, OLL is just, you gotta learn full OLL. PLL, PLL and everything else just kind of falls into like this odd kind of choppiness of the entire solve where like, if I ask you to do this, like, I don't know, like notice here, like I'm not locking up at all, just like, I don't know, it's like basic stuff going on. Like I could probably do like a medium speed PLL time attack without locking up once. Like, bring the TPS down until you can like control it and there's no more lockups at this speed. Because at the higher speed, like, there's a lot of lockups on all your PLLs and OLLs, and it just kind of seems like you're trying to like go up, like the graph of your TPS is like up and down and like all over the place. So that's kind of another big thing I talk about. Yeah, those are the big things, right? But yeah, there's not as much else to say. It was kind of just interesting. Like, really take a look at like what F12s are like. Be cognizant about what F12s are doing in the middle of your solve. Think about like slow your TPS down. Cross, you can take more rotations as long as they're smart rotations. And F12s, you don't like rotate more, or sorry, rotate less, and don't waste your rotations. Like, you can rotate if you need to, and it's gonna save you time. But like, kind of think about what's going on in your F12 as opposed to like, just kind of like busting out algorithms. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Yeah.